So I just got finished recording a daily update, which is something I do not quite every day, but I do it, and I like to put it out there. It's just something I can do quick and easy, just get it up, give you some quick tip or highlight about something that's kind of going on in my world or what I'm using. Like the one I just did highlights the fact that I've been using Google Keep a little bit more lately, just playing around and kind of having fun with it. The first thing I'll need to do is add my intro. So notice I've got a library and I've got my intro sort of pre-done here. Pre-done, is that a word? I'm going to resize this real quick. And then I'm going to click and drag this over, get that intro in there. The intro comes in with a bunch of assets grouped, so I'm going to right click and choose ungroup. And then I'm going to resize this again so I can see all the tracks here. And then the first thing I need to do is figure out where this thing actually starts. Where's my audio? So over here we're going to zoom in so I can see very clearly where the audio begins. Then we're going to play it back and listen very carefully to make sure that this is in fact, it appears to be the starting point, but let's make sure that it is. Yep, sure enough, I heard that playback. So we're going to come right back over here. I'm going to clip it, delete it, delete that beginning, drag this back, and now I can drop a transition in. So I click over on transitions. I'll choose the radial blur. It's one I like to use a lot. And now we're ready to just kind of edit the rest of this. And on something like this simple, most of it's just going to be the panning in and out kind of effects. Let's see what this looks like. At this point, I'm just really listening for places where I can or should zoom in. So I'm going to click over here on the zoom in pan. And then in the process of doing that, I might find opportunities, or may not, you know, it just depends on the video, but I might find opportunities to add things like call outs and so on and so forth. So let's just listen. It's a short video. It won't take long to edit. That's the other beauty. The shorter the video you do, the easier it is to produce a ton of content because it doesn't take a lot to edit a short video. Now at a point like this where I'm talking about the web address, I like to zoom in on the web address just so it's really clear. So I'm going to back up on that and find the exact spot and where it comes from. And I'm looking at the peaks and troughs in the audio here and what it's really all about. So do check that out. And now it said do check that out, so I know I'm about to do it. So I like to zoom in just before it's going to happen. So let's zoom in here. And I've learned a few things. So showing the tabs on my browser in the video when I'm zooming in can be a distraction. Keep them out of it. Keep really focused on just what you want them looking at, which in this case is the web address. And if I really want to get crazy, and since I'm illustrating this stuff, you know, this is an opportunity where I could do a call out. And then that puts it on the timeline over here, but notice the transition is just beginning. I want the transition to complete by then. See? So I get my box. And then we can push it out once we're listening to the audio to figure out really when we want to start. So I zoom back out on the timeline so I can see more at once. Blog. So I want, by the time I say the word blog, that's when I want the transition to be complete on this. But let's back it up and see how that looks and sounds. What it's really all about. So do check that out at blog.accountants.intuit.com. And of course I'll provide the link wherever you may happen to be watching. You can sign up. There's two options, the basics, which is just the webinar, or the bundle, which includes 2 hours of one-on-one. And this has a specific aim in mind, which is for me to work with you in those 2 hours, specifically to get your own video, at least one video, fully produced and up on YouTube for you. That's the goal. So sign up for the webinar, pick whichever one, plus you get access, I believe it's just with the bundle option, to a closed group that I have on Facebook where you can have ongoing support from me in terms of getting help and questions answered when it comes to producing and editing your own Camtasia videos. As always, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you in the webinar.